all energies can be composted. All thoughts and feelings exist as energies. You cannot easily compost an energy if you don't have access to another energy of equal or greater intensity. When you have an energy of equal or greater intensity running through you, you can center on it and then relate to something you need to let go of as something you can let go of because it's not holding you. It's not your foundation. It's not fundamental to what you are. And yet we all come to these thresholds where critical aspects of ourself are the most prominent element in our awareness. And when critical aspects of ourself are just everything we are in, everything we know, the filter, the skin, the vision, the attitude, and yet it's time for these things to die, it's daunting. You have to go through something that is akin to a death. Once you've done this, it's a lot easier to do it again. It's never the same experience again. And once you've done it a couple times, you can start to be present for other people when they need to do this. And this is the shift from karma to dharma. The elegance of this world, this body, this spiritual existence is that we have the ability to move through things, and then we turn around and there's someone else right next door who has to move through the same thing, and we can just lend them a hand. Now, this can feel a bit like a curse if you move through your past too harshly, because it is possible to create such a severe boundary, saying, I never want to go back to this again. I will never do this again. And it feels right at the time, but then the world brings it back to you. And that feels like a curse. Oh my God, no, tragedy. No, it's not a tragedy. The point is, on one level, it's yours to deal with. On another, it's yours to serve through. You can help someone else. And the act of allowing someone to be where you have been and to realize you're not the one who's suffering like that anymore does a healing, enables a healing transformation inside each of us, where we let go of these old skins far more gracefully. And we learn to trust we really are this person who's holding the new way, the new vibration. Now, it is possible to try to do this too quickly. Some people do. Some people receive guidance directly for themselves, and they turn around and try to immediately give it to others. And that can be damaging as well. In fact, that can masquerade as elevated or enlightened until you bump into whatever problem that person has, which is why it's so critical that when we serve as healers, we be very honest when we're stuck, when we're scared, when we're trapped. I've learned to embrace an attitude where I kind of expect to continue to have problems for the rest of my life. I look forward to most of the things I call problems being far less daunting. And they seem to get far less daunting as I move on. But I regularly come to challenges that, ironically for me, very earthly challenges. How do I relate to my kids better? How do I cope with it when my kids are relentlessly singing the same song or really want to talk to me about Minecraft? It's sort of funny experiencing that I have such wonderful insight to give and to share, and then finding myself just unmoored and crushed by yet another conversation about Minecraft. Please, I just woke up. There's a humility in this to commit to regularly asking for help and guidance and support when each of us needs it, And I invite you to realize that as much as you may think you're not ready to help other people, you absolutely are. Everyone is. An 8-year-old is ready to help a 5-year-old who's learning to read for the first time. An 8-year-old who can't read complex words can help a 5-year-old understand how fa and ph, fa, both make a similar sound. We all have things to teach, everybody. Yet often we don't allow ourselves to pass what we know on because we're measuring ourselves against what we don't know and what we're not good at. And the beauty of simply intending to have an accurate awareness of what you're ready to share, unparalleled. Because once you get it, you'll find 5 people who need that. And then you get the joy of helping 5 people, and that ends up being enough for you to release the energy entirely. And one of those 5 is suited to be a teacher, and you move on a little bit. I invite you to make an even deeper commitment than you have already to being present with what you are ready to share. Get a good grasp on some of the things you're ready to share and commit to doing it. It accelerates your healing process dramatically. It accelerates your learning process dramatically. And ultimately, it helps you settle into a far more fluid, graceful, trusting flow through this life where, it's a rhythm. Time for me to learn. I bow my head and learn. Time for me to share. I turn and share and lift. Time for me to recognize I am at my edge. Time to do some edge work. Maybe find who would ask for help. And as you learn these relationships, though you continue to learn, you continue to fall, you continue to be challenged, there's a lot less stress in the process.